After that whole Coyote Pass, I want to set him free.
How are you going to do that?
I go and apologize. This is my journey. My hope is for them to receive it well. I just wanted to come and say that I apologize.
Wow.
I apologize, here's the huge one, for saying I didn't love you.
This is my husband here. Why is this appropriate?
Apology is so needed here, because this is still so toxic.
Do you apologize that you are toxic to me?
Hey besties. Kody Brown is an embarrassment of a father who is lying. Based on one of his children who recently spoke on social media, the statement by Leon Brown came after a video went viral of Kody insisting that he was reaching out to his children and his children were not replying. Kody was blaming the broken relationship on the kids, not on himself, and insisting that he is doing everything possible to build relationships with his kids. And this child, Leon, says it's false. Here are a couple clips of what Kody has been stating both publicly on the show as well as in interviews regarding his children.
Well, I'm reaching out. When you start to heal a relationship that's gone bad for years, it gets like, it's not pretty. So I'm going through the sort of the unpretty process. I don't want to say ugly because it's progress, I guess. But it's mostly the real issue is like, we broke up as a family. I can't be the only one that's culpable for that. Everybody else has to take responsibility. But it's like I could have done better, and I know that I could have done better. And of course, I'm making an effort, and have been making an effort to be in contact with my children, to go through that hard work of fixing relationships that are really strained.
Yeah. And how is that?
It's really a tough thing because when you're in reality TV or you're doing podcasting or anything like that, what you say goes on record and other people start to like judge you by that. My opinion of myself won't matter. Your opinion of me, what you tell the public, is going to matter. So when you have this happen with your children go, my dad did this or my dad did that, you really have no defense of it because I can't throw my children under the bus, or I've made the mistake of saying something that I shouldn't have about my children, and this hurts relationships. So reality television can be really hard on relationships. I've reached out to every one of my children. I've reached out to every one of my children, and multiple times. And if they don't have a relationship with me, it's because they're not reciprocating.
So Kody Brown states on the show last week that he has reached out to every single one of his children, and if the children are not responding, it is because they are not reciprocating or maintaining a relationship with him. Then on Fox 5 in New York during the morning show, he claimed that he has been trying to speak to his children and repair those relationships. And he blamed the estrangement with his children on his ex-wives, insisting they need to take responsibility. And the kids are listening to their parent, their mom. And then on the Decider podcast, Kody went as far as to accuse podcasters like me or news journalists like me for reporting on the things that he has said. And then he insisted that those things we say about him are shaping the opinions of his children. And so we must be careful basically about what we say about him because it affects his kids. He says that it's not by what he says that it's offensive. It's how we report on him, and that his kids are being influenced by what we say about him. I have watched McKeely view this show in real time, and I will say without a doubt that McKelty is not receiving clips of this from the show. She's not reacting to what other people say about him. She's reacting to the words that come out of his mouth. But most importantly, it's not what they're watching him say on the show. It's how they are being treated when the cameras are off. And this is where what Leon says makes a difference. So today on Instagram, Leon posted this. Taking a break from my social media hiatus to say one thing. There's a ridiculous video of my father circulating where he claims he reaches out to his children. Let me be completely clear. I have not heard from that man since my brother ended his life. Kody blatantly ignored me at Garrison's funeral. He is a liar. He is a joke of a father. That is all. So Leon saw the clip of the show where Kody is saying that he reaches out to his kids. Those are his own words. Commentary is. They are reacting to Kody's own words, claiming that he is taking steps to fix these relationships, which Leon insists is not true. I do know that McKeely has mentioned that Kody has reached out to her a couple of times and she has not replied. So he might be contacting some of his kids, at least the ones he believes he still has favor with, but not all of his children. And we know that Kody and Robin's behavior at the funeral and the fallout after Garrison's death has deeply fractured the family to a point that it is not reparable, at least regarding how the children view Kody. Because Kody, in their view, at least for some of them, allegedly, they believe the way Kody treated Garrison and the way he spoke about him on the show and, made him the center of so much hostility and blamed Garrison and Gabriel for causing his split with Janelle. They believe Kody's treatment of Garrison contributed to his spiraling mental health issues. And with Janelle even saying that since the splits and with what has happened with the estrangement from Kody, Garrison's mental health was struggling. We also know that as a result, Janelle has shared that he started drinking and he was drinking to cope and to try getting through these depressive feelings and thoughts, and he was struggling with alcohol. But the core of it was his thoughts, the way he was rejected by his father, the way his father was belittling him on the show, and the fallout of all of this happening publicly. Some of Kody's children will not speak to him because they view what he does on the show as harmful to them and they blame him for what happened to Garrison. Allegedly, that is just what some of them have said. That is what has been mentioned in the media and articles. I cannot say for certain all of them. I'm just saying generally some of the kids have had this sense and this feeling. Mykelti has been very clear that she doesn't have the capacity to speak to him. She has also said that Kody's behavior at the funeral was a major reason for her cutting contact with Kody and Robin. Okay. So here with Leon, they are saying that Kody ignored them at the funeral. Blew them off. Completely brushed them off and has not contacted them since. And I think it's significant for them to say that since my brother killed himself, I have not heard from him. On the show, Kody has repeated over and over again that he was going to repair relationships simply because he wanted more time with his children. He even went as far as to seek sympathy in this week's episode by talking about Garrison.
But I got a beer with Garrison the last time we ate together.
I'm sure that was a sweet memory for him. But that's like you're talking about this experience, and those are like, you have some regrets being able to do that with your kids.
Here, Kody says that just before Garrison died, the last time he met him, he managed to share a beer with his son. But that isn't what he told People magazine after Garrison passed, because then he said he wished he could have shared a beer with him. And now he's insisting that he actually did have a beer with his son. At this point, I don't believe Kody's relationship with Garrison was good. Garrison had sent text messages to Kody shortly before he passed. But more importantly, when Garrison died, the medical examiner listed his cause of death as a self-inflicted gunshot wound. However, acute alcohol poisoning was also a contributing factor because he was extremely intoxicated. His blood alcohol level was around 3-something. Either 34 or 33. He was incredibly intoxicated. The alcohol level was so high, the intoxication was so severe, it affected his cognitive abilities and he died. Had he been sober that night, he probably would not have taken his life. And Kody here is acting like, well, I got to have a beer with my son, even though he told people that he wished he could have had a beer with him. So he's basically lying for sympathy. He lies constantly. But these sorts of lies are easily checked and easily disproven when you look back through the record, and you can see he isn't telling the truth. These are the kinds of things he says that make his children not want any contact with him. It's not because I talk about things or say Kody behaves badly. Even if I personally think he does. It's reacting to what he says regarding his children. And then when you consider what the kids say and how they are being treated, you report both perspectives. So if Kody says, I'm reaching out, and Leon says, no, he's not. I haven't even spoken to him since March of 2024, and now it's November of 2025, that amounts to 19 months of no contact. And then at the funeral, he didn't speak to some of his children. I mentioned that at one of the events he attended, which was the National Guard, someone there told me that he did not speak to certain children. He entirely ignored them and entered as if nothing was wrong, expecting everyone to bow to him. But the kids, at least some of them, also did not talk to him or want to speak to him. I am going to assert that Kody is lying because of his consistent history of lying. The fact that Leon is speaking out breaks my heart and reinforces the reports I received about 2 years ago, which indicated that Kody rejects Leon because he does not accept their transition. I was told Kody will not speak to Leon because they are transgender and he does not accept that. I was also told that Robin does not accept that either. And Robin and her daughters, the eldest ones, made disparaging remarks about Leon, calling them evil and mocking them. There were reports from The Sun, directly from a source close to Kody, that Kody did not recognize this person, did not accept this person, and would not maintain a relationship with them. On the other hand, Meri has continued her relationship with Leon. Meri, for her part, has respected Leon's request for privacy, does not talk about Leon on the show, and when asked on Instagram Lives or TikTok Lives about Leon, consistently says, Leon does not want to be public-facing. I don't want to invade their privacy. And she will add something like, they're good. We're good. That's all. Meri has maintained that boundary, which is why you rarely see Kody and Meri discuss Leon. I believe Meri's protection of Leon and keeping things from getting ugly on the show is proof of her love for her child. Because if Meri wanted to be fully honest about why she is in conflict with Kody, she would say on the show, it is partially because he tried to cheat her over money and Coyote Pass, partially about how he mistreats her and Leon, but mostly due to his rejection of Leon and the fact that he refuses to maintain contact simply because they are transgender. You know, they come from a culture that does not accept people who are gay, transgender, or non-binary, and they see that as sinful, evil, and wicked. I understand that people have the right to their own opinions, but when it is your own child and that is how you treat them, I could never do that. I, as a mother, regardless of my own personal views, could never refuse to accept my child if my child says this is who I am and this is how I feel, because rejecting them, rejecting that part of them, is like a knife in the heart, as Kody would say. That is the kind of rejection you never get over, and it is the kind of rejection by families of transgender and gay people that contributes to declining mental health and thoughts of suicide. Accepting them and their journey is part of helping them remain mentally healthy. Kody continues to prioritize his insatiable need for fame over the mental health and well-being of his children. And I respect Leon for speaking out and setting the record straight. I think the reason Kody is going on an apology tour is that he wants to stop them from speaking the truth. Kody's lies can only survive if others enable them. So if family members do not support his lies, he cannot continue to lie and appear like a good person. Right? Before, when everyone was indulging his lies, he could cover up the bad behavior. But now he cannot because they no longer cover for him. He wants desperately for them to continue covering for him, but he cannot fix it. And Kody knows very well that the show is a factor in what is happening within his family, and he doesn't stop because fame is more important to him than family. So I feel bad for Leon. I feel bad for anyone rejected by a family member. I feel bad for anyone treated this way simply because of who they are. And I think Kody is a poor excuse for a father. We'll see if other children speak out. But that is what I have for today. So, share your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, bestie.